You know, growing up, I was never really afraid of anything. Alright, let me be more real. At this stage in my life, I'm not really afraid of anything per se. Clowns, when you walk into one changing and see it's just a depressed man in his 40s, all the fear just kind of leaves you, you know? Spiders, nah, I'm praying for them to bite me. Shots? Pfft, most of the times I don't even feel a thing. However, this was all before I watched the new It, Welcome to Derry movie, and oh my god, this show is crazy. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. It's going to be like my A Stranger Things rant, except it's not, I lied. It's going to be an It rant. It's an It rant. Itty rants. Sorry. Before we proceed, I want to issue a little warning. If you haven't seen the It movie yet and don't want it to get spoiled for you, then what do you think we're talking about here? What are you even doing here? You think we're just gonna do a spoiler-free review? You see how dumb you are, right? First thing I've got to say about the show is their intro song. It gives just about the right balance of airy and cheerful. I'm not gonna say that's unique or I've never seen this before. They use it all the time in horror movies, but I kinda like it. Not a big fan of the whole beginning credit poster aesthetic. From an artistic standpoint, I kinda get the sentiment. But then, I guess this is just my appeal because I kinda like the route that shows like Stranger Things took with their beginning poster. Again, this is all just personal preference. I also personally prefer putting ketchup on my rice, so yeah. When we see the kids, we get to know more about them, and we find out that this kid goes missing after this girl rejects him. And then she carries it on her head as if it's her fault that he's dead. Brother, you can't blame her for the fact that she don't like you, okay? You gotta lock in, do some self-improvement, and drown your sorrows in alcohol. Yeah, so this is the main cast. Can't wait to see how they sold it. They all die? I'm not gonna lie, this caught me so off guard. It takes a lot to surprise me in horror movies these days, but this got me. Especially because it was so unhinged. I mean, we were just getting to know these characters. Some freaking world building was going on with the why did we fall out storyline. But that was just gone. We didn't even get a friendship redemption arc, and come on, she was just a child. She did nothing wrong. I'm not gonna lie, this was kinda dope. I gotta give them their flowers. It definitely got me hooked after that. You know, for a horror show about Pennywise, he doesn't have an awful lot of screen time. They held him up till about episode 6, and when we finally saw him, I was like, this guy looks so cool since we last saw him in the 80s. Or, he got less cool in the 80s, I guess. Still, Penny is way more scary, way more creepy, and way more stronger. I mean, seriously, went from Pennywise not being able to fully open his mouth due to CGI and budget, to him shifting and warping shape, and it's just so cool. That being said, I don't think I was inherently scared when watching the Pennywise movie. I mean, it's cool and all and graphic and all that, but at the same time, it just doesn't hit like it used to. Don't get me wrong, this may not be a problem with the show. I may just be desensitized from all the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared I've watched and FNAF I've played. But most of Pennywise scenes to me were just grotesque creature in the distance. Oh hey, it's him. Then we get to see the character struggle for like 5 minutes till he lets them go. I think the only mildly scary part of this movie was when he was like, I can't hear you. A little louder. Could you say that a little louder? Hey ya. That part did have me a little startled, not gonna lie. Also, the ending battle was kind of weak sauce too. The kids had to put a shard in a sacred burial ground in order to bind Pennywise to the constraints of Derry. And all Pennywise had to do to stop them was to pass that finishing line and get unleashed to the whole world. And my guy couldn't even do that. For a shape-shifting, immortal, invincible being, you're very useless. Cause tell me why Pennywise couldn't just shape-shift into a flying bird, which he did by the way. We were just a little too late by then. Fly past the border and get to munching on some preschoolers, but no, we gotta make it look cookie for the show. Also, I like this scene where the dad wanted to go put the shard into place, but then he was too injured and sent his son to go do it. The guy was shouting, I'm scared, I can't do this. And the dad was like, I believe in you. You can do this. You are brave. Now go square up with the devil. They definitely upped the gore in this movie. Well, duh, it's a horror movie. But it was still crazy. There was this shot of Pennywise coming out of a pool of blood, with it stained all over half his face, which looked cool. There was this shot where Pennywise got their principal and disemboweled him and started using him as a puppet, which I'm not sure I'm allowed to show on YouTube, but I'm not successful enough to get demonetized, so here it is. And lots of other shots like that. The character design is also a very huge improvement in my opinion. Look at how these Navy SEALs are dressed. The design has such a very 80s bland and yet very vibrant look. It's shows like this that make you not just think of this era where everyone was black and white and people were just talking British. The scenery is also very outstanding. Not the best I've ever seen, but they still do it in a way that captures the whole image of the show. The streets of Derry are usually dry, which complements well with the unsettling people in the town. And Pennywise. He's just designed to perfection. They nailed every aspect of this character design. I actually have no notes. The CGI done on this character looks so expensive. Like, holy cow, this is just crazy.
And the spirit was set free.
I think this is one of the aspects of the show I'm not a fan of. You know, I was fine with not knowing much about where he came from or only knowing little slivers of information. It's okay not to know sometimes. You understand what I'm trying to say? But this series just dumps all his lore on you at once, which, for one, totally ruins any sense of mystery they were hoping to build up with the possible release of season 2 and season 3 taking place earlier. And second, when I found out his origins, a sense of disappointment kind of washed over me, like, oh, that's where it came from. Okay, whatever. To be honest, I don't think I was really ready for any explanation to begin with. They revealed that it was a creature who came from outer space and ate Pennywise during one of his circus tours and chose to shapeshift as Pennywise. I initially thought it was a clown because most kids fear clowns, but nope, there's a very specific reason for why he's a clown. I also thought it was very unrealistic how his daughter was willing to sacrifice those people just to talk to her father again. I say father ironically because we found out later that it's not her father, it ate her father. This whole time she's been thinking the thing that ate her daddy is her daddy. That's messed up. Kind of like the Little Red Riding Hood if you think about it. You know how many souls this schizo has sacrificed at the hands of this demon just to be told, good job. And then do the same thing again 27 years later. Stay calm! You know, if there was a prize for the most infamous, unfair, and racist scene in any movie, this should probably be a good contender. Let me play it out for you. So, this man has been wrongfully accused of murdering 3 kids because he's black. An eyewitness who was literally there literally said it wasn't him, but the cops didn't want to listen anyways because he's black. An angry mob comes up to the bar where they're hiding and says, give him to us so we can kill him. And they say, no. And they say, how about now? Deuces, motherfucker. Then they leave. And they burn down the whole place filled with innocent black people just to kill that one innocent black person who doesn't even end up dying. But you see how effed up this scene is. There was even one scene where one of the protagonists, the one that didn't die, Richie, locks this girl in a box just to save her life and self-sacrifices because there was no space for the 2 of them. But then he sacrifices himself and it's just over like that. Another main character gone. Taking notes, Stranger Things. And of course, this can't be complete without the ending. So the ending gave us some shocking revelations. It was revealed that Pennywise could time travel to prevent himself from being killed. So what you're trying to say is, you mean this whole time you had a huge power advantage and still couldn't kill them? Still couldn't kill kids? These kids were not prepared for what you were about to do to them at all. They had no insight. But you could warp into any reality of your choosing and you still get beat. That's just pathetic at this point. Anyway, that was pretty much all I wanted to cover for the new It movie. Thanks so much for watching and goodbye.